Welcome to Focus on DeSoto Today, a public information program produced by the City of DeSoto's Community Relations Department. This series of programs is designed to present in discussion format topics of current interest to DeSoto residents. I'm Kathy Jones, Public Information Officer for DeSoto, and I'll be your host. Today we're discussing a new initiative called Project Create Community. Joining me today we have our Mayor Carl Sherman, and this was his idea, Project Create Community, and a couple of his board members, Amber Knorr, Grant Galliford, and Felicia Benton. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks
for having us.
Thank you. Mayor, you came up with this idea. Tell us a little bit about what you had in mind. What was your vision for Project Create Community?
Well, Kathy, the idea came about after talking with various leaders in the community. The school district, and looking at the demographic changes in our school system, as well as the Census Bureau executive director for the state of Texas and Louisiana. And what they had indicated was that DeSoto had lost a large number of young whites from our community. And so this project was created where these great folks get together every Wednesday morning at my office, and they strategize, they work on ways to make this city more inclusive and embracing for the diverse or the balance that we're striving to achieve in this city. So that's essentially it. I am excited about our All-America City, and we certainly represent I think the best that DeSoto has to offer, and we want to ensure that that's for all age groups.
That's great. So how did you choose the people that are on your board?
Oh, that was
like
easy.
These great folks.
Yeah, that was easy, Kathy. When you look at someone like Amber Knorr, used to be Fussell.
Used to be Fussell,
yeah.
yes.
Amber exemplifies the energy and the passion that we needed in order to lead this effort. She's a businesswoman, and she's naturally gifted at selling.
Mm-hmm. DeSoto high school graduate too,
right,
I think.
Exactly, DeSoto alumni. And so she understands this community, and it was important to have a president that possessed those attributes. Then you look at Grant Galliford. He is Mr. Allstate, but he's also a man who is very strategic and methodical about his approach, and he brings a certain balance to the board that we need. And he's able to share his experience and help to guide the board. He's on the board.
Yeah,
and
both
then
very active in the community too.
Right. And then I look over to my good friend, Felicia Benton. Felicia's family has lived here in DeSoto for several years. Her father is well known. And Felicia is gifted as a, a thespian, as an
I suppose
actress.
that's what you can call me,
Okay.
sir.
She can also sing very well.
Don't tell anybody.
And
No secrets out.
Well, Kathy, she's been extremely creative in attracting or helping to attract certain venues that are open and inclusive. There are things that certain demographics are attracted to more than others, and Felicia Benton has her thumb on the pulse, and she knows what the market responds to. So we just
She's
had
also
this.
a hometown girl too.
Yes.
Grew up here.
DeSoto alumni, and we just had the tugging of the greens, and that was great on St. Patrick's Day, and we had tug of war against the school board, and I won't brag about the results,
but there are pictures on Facebook, so everybody can find out.
There are pictures on Facebook, and yes, and we lost.
But
that just leaves room for next year's rematch.
That's right.
Sounds like you have a great cross section, and these are just a couple of the members. There's probably about 10 or so on your committee.
Yeah.
A very, very diverse group.
Very much so.
Grant, I looked at the brochure for Project Create Community, and it talks about that you all are trying to create some partnerships with corporate relocators and realtors. Tell me a little bit about that. How are you going to try to do that?
Yeah, well, first we're going to be meeing with the DFW real estate group to try and just showcase what DeSoto has to offer. I think part of the reason for this group is that there's certain stereotypes or things that people see on the news. When they think of DeSoto, they think of this. And a real focus for this group is to say, there's more than that.
Right.
And that's a lot of the things you see on the news really isn't DeSoto. So
well, it's frustrating because it's hard to get good news out. I mean, they're very willing to come down and film something that's not good about DeSoto,
Right.
but getting the good word out is really hard, and I applaud you for trying to do it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, when you think of DeSoto, some people think of streets lined with foreclosures and all that, you know, and then they come out here and they see Frost Farms, Thorn Tree, some of these.
Some gorgeous neighborhoods.
Yeah, on large lots, if not acreage, and very, very impressive properties in DeSoto, and just trying to get the word out there of what we have to offer. So, and being so close to downtown Dallas,
Absolutely.
yeah,
it's a
pretty
very
exciting.
well kept secret.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Thank you, Grant.
Yes.
Amber, I know another one of your initiatives, y'all are trying to create some buzz about the good things that are going on. The mayor mentioned the Tugging on the Greens. What all do you have planned as far as
Well, we
activities?
started off our year with our first activity being the Tugging on the Greens, which was a tug-of-war championship to kind of celebrate our Irish heritage, because we have so many wonderful different heritages that come together in DeSoto, and we really wanted to kind of showcase different ones. So this is our first Irish festival, and
That's something we've never done in DeSoto.
we
I
never
love it.
have.
That's
And we
great.
have the perfect space here at our beautiful city center. We have a gorgeous green area that we were literally able to have a tug-of-war event right in the center of the city pulse. And so it was wonderful to bring both new residents out as well as visitors from all over the Metroplex to come in and see kind of what it is DeSoto has to offer. So that was our first event, just to kind of get the ball rolling this year. And then our very next event is coming up April 9th, which is next Saturday. We're looking forward to some amazing things that are going to happen with that. It's a community concert that's here in the city. So I know Felicia's going to tell you a little bit more about that, but we're just kind of getting started and looking forward to creating some great momentum here in DeSoto.
That's so exciting. I'm glad to hear that. Felicia, tell us a little bit about Big Enough concert. Is that it?
Yeah. It's next Saturday at 2 o'clock in the amphitheater. Initially, we started off wanting to target it toward our church community because we have such a huge church community in DeSoto.
Absolutely.
With well over 60 churches. So we really wanted to do something to be able to bring them together. And we're inviting them out to have free vendor booths next Saturday to tell folks about what's going on with their congregation. So the event started off as strictly a Christian concert that we were going to do in the amphitheater.
And
But
it's free
It's
to-
completely
to the
free,
public,
free to the
yeah.
public. They
Outdoors.
can park in the garage. There'll be food and vendors and really great stuff. But as the event has evolved, it's turned into more of a positive music fest. So even if you don't consider yourself, you don't go to a church around here, you're like, I don't know about Christian music, there's some really great, diverse entertainment. We've got a guy by the name of Dustin Cavazos, a guy by the name of Colin Edge, who's fantastic, a dance team called Right Side Dance Crew. So it's not just singing, there's also some dancing to change it up a bit. And we also have a really fantastic national recording artist by the name of Aisha Woods, who is in the studio with us today.
Yay!
Aisha,
What
come
in
on
the
in
world?
here.
Welcome!
Hi.
Thanks so much.
Welcome, Aisha.
I'm looking forward to it. I think the event's going to be great.
I do too. Thank you so much. Have you played in DeSoto before?
You know what? I have not. I live on the Grand Prairie side.
Uh-huh.
but
So you're a
DeSoto
Texas girl.
Well, not originally. Originally from Bermuda, but
Mhm.
I've lived in the area for about 10 years. And I'm just excited about what's happening in our community. And just as you talked a bit about developing and embracing diversity, it's an amazing thing. And the theme of the concert is Big Enough, and just one of the songs in particular that we'll be doing is called Big Enough. And it's just, a lot of times we face what seems to be insurmountable odds, and but for me, with my relationship with God, I know that God is big enough, and he's a God of all people, all nations, and all cultures, and so it's really going to be a celebration of something that God is doing in the bigger scheme of things.
Sounds like a great theme for the Project Create
It could
community.
be awesome.
Yeah.
We're big enough. We can do it.
That's right. And our vision is big enough to encompass everyone.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a big job. I know the next thing you're working on is a marketing campaign to get the word out about the great things in DeSoto. Make it not that best kept secret. Tell us a little bit about that, Mayor.
We really are, and that is a major undertaking because we're looking at different vehicles of marketing, the message, the brand. For Create Project Community, we're going to be employing social media. We're doing that now with Facebook and Twitter. We'll be employing the television channel here.
Absolutely.
Let's focus on
on.
That is what we're doing right now.
That's absolutely what we're doing.
And we're looking at other creative ways. I know Amber has some more ideas on that as president of Project Create Community. So, Amber?
Exactly. Well, thank you. One of the things that we're really looking at is how to take our grassroots movement and really bring it into the 21st century. So, like Mayor Sherman mentioned, we're using different social medias and also trying to integrate them and really turn them into more of a daily pulse of DeSoto so that you really know what's going on in your city. And if it's not your city, you're really wanting to know why it's not yet.
Right.
And so really taking some unusual and very, very hip ideas on how to reach today's audience. That's very, very exciting stuff.
It is, and you know, when Aisha mentioned big enough, you know, it made me think about how Felicia mentioned one of our local pastors, Pastor Kurt Crone, was saying that one of the challenges that we have is getting the community to embrace. And I think, you know, when you really look at we as Americans, that last frontier really is in our churches, in our school systems, our public school systems, even going right down to the grassroots efforts of our Facebook. When you look at our friends, by and large, if you're African American, predominantly your friends are going to be of the same ethnicity. If you're white, your friends, the predominant group is going to be white, or Hispanic, the same thing. So I challenge our citizens to let's try and expand your Facebook group of friends and have more diversity there. And then I'd like to ask one thing, just as a mayor's prerogative, if you will. You know, Aisha mentioned the song Big Enough, I think that she has, and I would love for us to close out on that. I think it would be nice if you're up to it.
Sure.
I know God is big enough, so you can do it. Okay, so thank you. Okay.
Well, I appreciate that, Mayor. Are you guys looking to expand your group? Do you want to get other people involved? If so, how do they do that?
Well, of course, we're always looking for help because, as Mayor Sherman and Aisha were pointing out, our vision is big and it's huge, and we know that we're a small group right now, but with a big enough community behind us, we can really grow and reach our vision. And so we're always looking for other people that are interested in just kind of standing up and being heard. And the best ways to do that are reach out to us through Facebook or through our website. Both of them are Project Create Community. The Facebook is, of course, Project Create Community, and then the website is ProjectCreateCommunity.org. And you can reach us. We would love to hear ideas on what it is you love or maybe don't like so much about your city. So different ideas that we can always improve on. And then if you would love to volunteer for things that we're doing, we would love to have you, just stand up and be heard.
Great. I'm excited. And April 9th, we'll
April
be here
9th.
before we know
Yes,
it.
this weekend.
We want to invite everybody out to the Big Enough concert and hear Aisha sing the full song.
Yes. With the full band.
With the full band.
Yes.
It'll be a great afternoon. I'm sure the weather will be warm again, and we'll have a great day. Thank you again for coming and sharing your vision with me. I'm excited about it. I'd like to thank my panel, Mayor Carl Sherman, of course.
Thank you.
Amber Dorr, Grant Galliford, Felicia Benton, and Aisha Woods. Thank you so much for popping in.
Thanks for
Appreciate it. And I'd like to thank our viewers for tuning in for another edition of Focus on DeSoto Today.
The song says, and I don't want to box you in. You've been doing big things since the world began. Sometimes I just don't want to believe that you're big enough. That you're big enough, yeah. I don't want to box you in. You've been doing big things since the world began. Sometimes I just don't understand that you're big enough. But you're big enough, yeah.
Yeah. We can't wait to hear all of it.
It's gonna be fun.